Hello, my name is MAKASY, and today we have a very long video. We're gonna talk about a jacket that I was for sure buying simply to make some video with it, compared it to my other down jacket, sell it, make a quick buck. However, I was open to the idea that I could love it, and this love could push another down jacket out of my rotation. And if that were to happen, I would sell another down jacket to make room for this jacket. We shall see how I feel by the end of this video, but as you can see by the length, it is very long. So I am gonna make a comparison video because I thought I was gonna include a short segment in this video, but then the script got too long, so now that segment is gonna be its own video. Today, we are reviewing the Owens Sisyphus down jacket with the funnel neck detail. It is unlike every other Sisyphus jacket that you've seen or known because this one is made with full grain lambskin Nappa leather. So for the version you're looking on the screen right now, this one Owens calls them the Babel Mountain jacket, but for this version, there's no official name from Owens, so I think we should call them the Sisyphus jacket because I believe this jacket was first released in Sisyphus, but it wasn't on the runway. Let's call it Sisyphus because I really like Sisyphus. There's a essay by Albert Camus called The Myth of Sisyphus, and that essay has changed my life. I will go further about this topic later in another video, but Owens and the team has since released these in so many different colorways, different shapes, different material. All of them are beautiful. I have owned, I believe, 3-4 versions of it. I've sold the Owens and Montclair collab because I wasn't too big of a fan of the spider effect anymore. And then I gave this one to my partner, and I've kept this one, the Babel Mountain jacket, because it is my favorite down jacket of all time. And maybe by the end of this video, this jacket will become my favorite because of the material. So the first thing I want to talk about is the neck collar, or as I like to call it, a whale's penis. The reason I call it a whale's penis, because when the funnel neck isn't buttoned up, it just dangles there and it looks so big, so flaccid and dumb looking, so that's why I call it the whale's penis. I fell in love with this jacket right away because of the whale's penis. The cropness was also new to me, the elongated sleeve. It's super elongated. I'm used to like regular elongated sleeve, but this one is like they went the extra mile with it, and I knew I wanted it right away, but at the time they were going for a lot. Now they don't go for that much anymore. You go on Grail. Rick has since flooded the market, so the value, the secondary market value has decreases a lot, which is good for people who wants them, but it's also bad for Rick long term. I think I talk about this idea of flooding the market in another video. You kind of have to do what Supreme is doing and LV, you got to keep this artificial scarcity going. Otherwise your brand will lose its relevance, and relevancy in the secondary market, it drives demands up for the first market. With the particular whale's penis, there are two ways to wear this jacket. You can either button it up as a scarf or you just leave it hanging like a whale's penis. So first we're going to talk about aesthetic, and then we'll talk about the practicality of it. So when you button these up, they look so good. I don't believe you can find another jacket from another designer that has neck detail that looks this great. On my Den Yang Zhang, the detail is not that exaggerated, and the neck is a bit more tame on that one. And then if you go to like Aritzia, Zara, Forever 21, any other high street fast fashion, they don't really do this jacket that well. Even high fashion, other brands, they do not do that well with regard to down jacket. I believe Rick does the best down jacket of any brand. If we could put Rick Owens up with some other high fashion down jacket, you can see what I'm doing. I believe you would agree with me that Rick Owens is the more sophisticated looking or more unique looking. Aesthetically, this jacket is so next level while also being very tame. But while saying that, I know that my opinion has been diluted because I have owned so many more crazier Rick Owens down jackets. But if I were to not own any of these jackets, if I were to revert back to the first time I got this jacket, this is my craziest down jacket because You have never seen a neck detail done like this, and it's functional. It's not just there for aesthetic, it's functional. You can obviously wear this jacket with the penis hanging on your chest, or the best way for me anyway is that you wrap it around and it acts as a scarf. If you were to tell MAKASY, that's a nice background, do some poses, I will immediately button these up because they look so good with the whale's penis buttoned up. And it's not perfect either. There is a flaw with the whale's penis. As you can see, this side is a bit longer than the other side. I understand why it's this way, but I would have preferred for it to look like this. Think of it as like an extra long belt. There's just more way to style it, or think about like a scarf. There's more way to wrap around your body the longer they are. And you know, one side being longer, it's not that aesthetically pleasing to look at, but if you look at it as an individual, the neck detail is not that good. But if you look at the jacket as a whole, with the whole crop body, elongated sleeve, the whale's penis, I think it works quite well. And to do a quick comparison, I think the penis on this jacket, it's a bit wider, like width-wise. Yeah, wider. It's a bit larger than my other penises. Let's have a look side by side. I don't remember the penis covering my entire face like this one. On my nylon ones, they don't really cover that much. I believe it has to do with the lack of down, which I will talk about later, and the extra stretchiness of the leather. With nylon, there's no stretch. However wide they are, that's how wide they are. But it could honestly be just my recency bias because this is my new item that I'm babying. I've only owned it for like 2-3 weeks now, so I am still in that phase. So I could be looking at this with a rose-colored glass. But with my acquisition of crazy-looking pieces, this jacket has become a bit more tame, but I have to take myself out of my shoes and look at it from an objective point of view. If I were to not own any crazy Rick Owens down jacket, this piece would become super special, which it was when I first got it. When I first got it, it was the first Rick Owens, I believe it was my first ever Rick Owens piece, and I loved it. I would just wear it around the house. So I have to go back to that mindset. I have this bad habit, I think you do as well. Once we have something, once we see it all the time in our closet, it becomes a bit less special. We must fight this, what's the right word here? Like complacency. If used correctly here for my German half of the family, this is what it is in German. Hi, honey. I will use my partner for example because we just talked about it. So I catch myself taking it for granted once in a blue moon, and I physically have to shake myself and like hit my head to realize that I have to get out of this complacent mindset and appreciate how great she is. There are going to be a lot of distractions in the form of other women, but I have to be focused. I can't just let these distractions entice me, and because we are curious creatures, so we're constantly looking for something new, but we have to stay focused. Okay, that took a big left turn. So here's the example. Go to your closet and genuinely try to remember how excited you were when you first got that one particular piece in that closet. The memories will flood back into your brain. You will remember the days, the weeks, the months that you dreamt about what it feels like if you were to own this piece. And try to remember the first time you got this piece, how excited you were, how happy you were, how much joy this particular piece brought you. Because I believe you have lost that, because when we see it all the time, we lose that appreciation. We become a bit complacent. We take things for granted. 3 snap button closure. You normally button the funnel neck by the 3 snap button closures. Normally I would have loved a zipper, but for this I like buttons better because I normally only clip 2. I don't need to clip 3 or 1, but the button is better in this case because if it were to be zipper, you would have to line them up perfectly to zip it up, line them up perfectly to zip it out. So with the button, it's a bit easier. When you do have the penis button up, you can also push it down a bit and acts as like a turtleneck, but I don't think it looks that good. It feels like you're trying to tame a beast. You shouldn't. You should just let the beast be itself, let it scream, be its bestiality self. Listen to that again. The penis, it's also not one seamless leather. It's broken down into 3 pieces. Just a detail I want to point out. There's nothing bad nor good about this. It's just a detail that is there. As far as angles, the penis, it looked great from the front, but from the side, not so much, or especially this side, because you can see the snap button closures, but from the other side it looks good, and it also looks great from the back. There is this version of the jacket where it looks a bit more aesthetically pleasing, but it's not as unique as this long penis. If they make it bigger, then yes, but symmetrically speaking, aesthetically speaking, that jacket looks a bit better than this jacket because of its unevenness. Functionally, it's great as a scarf. It does its job well. It keeps the air out. It keeps your body insulated. So let's compare this neck collar, the penis, and to just a regular jacket without the penis. You can kind of put two and two together and realize that this jacket will not keep you as warm as this jacket because of that big hole around your neck. The scarf, the penis, it stops the air from going in and out, so it keeps your body warm throughout the day if it's cold out. I will say this phrase a lot. This jacket should not be your main winter jacket. This should be your second, your third, or your fourth jacket. If you want a functionally great jacket, go to Patagonia, go to North Face, Canada Goose, Montclair. Get one of those big puffer. Those will work better for winter if you were to deal with like 0 to 10 degree weather. This jacket is a fashionable jacket. This jacket is for those days that are warm in the winter, in December, January, February. Okay, back to the penis. So on this piece specifically, it's even more on the extreme end because it's leather, and leather is far superior to the nylon with regard to keeping the cold air out and just like the feel of it. And it's not without flaw either. Although I love this detail, I love this penis, it's not the greatest because it's not a hood. Some part of your head will be exposed on a very windy day. You will need a beanie or a headwear. I am currently looking into this balaclava from Owens. He just called it a hood, but it looks really good. Jisoo wore it recently in one of her vlogs and I really like it. I've been looking at it, but it is a bit not out of my price range. I am not there yet as far as pricing, so I'll wait for the sale. Essence sale should come up soon, so I will get that. But when you do wear this as a neck scarf, it does fog up your glasses, like similar to when we have to wear a mask for COVID. Just want to point that out in case one of you that will buy this jacket has wear glasses all the time. It will fog up your glasses, so that's just something to think about. Collarless. There's no collar because of the whale's penis. I personally think a spread collar would be really good. You know, spread collar or down jacket. Why not? Prada can do it. I mean, it's not down, but they put polyester, but Prada has done it, so it looks good. They put the bomber collar on my knot jacket, so why not put it on this? Put a spread collar on my nylon jackets, the Sisyphus jacket or the Mountain Babel. The collarless nature doesn't bother me. However, with this piece, since it's leather, so it's a lot thicker, it's a lot stiffer, so when I do bend down or look down, it does like hurt my neck a little bit because it's so heavy, it's so stiff, and it's so thick. It genuinely hurt when I look down, especially when I drive, and sometimes I drop things on the floor, so I have to go look down. So it's a bit of hassle, and I think it's also because I opened this Pandora box where I was truly testing that out. So now subconsciously I'm thinking about it. Hey man, that thing below your neck, that's gonna hurt you. That can hurt you any moment. That can hurt you any moment. Think of it like bleeding. Like, you know, if you don't notice it, you don't think it's hurting. But once you do see it, you're like, oh shit, I'm bleeding. I should feel some pain. Your brain just put that two and two together. A great thing I can say about this is that the Nappa lambskin leather, it does spread into the inner a little bit. On the neck part, I do just sense the leather, which is good and bad. You also get 6 panel of quilted down, very aesthetically pleasing to look at. They're also cropped. It's a good crop, but not as great as my Mountain Babel cropped. We'll talk about the pockets in a second, but the pocket doesn't really distract you too much because you only see 2 silver buttons. If it were to have zippers like this jacket, it would draw more attention to itself. And you know, from afar, you barely see it if you were from afar. And I am a bit iffy on the quilted block where this is one smooth body. On my doll jacket, it's just one smooth body and it looks great. But sometimes I like this quilted look, but sometimes I don't. Maybe it's because like this quilted blocking, it's so universal. You see it on everything. The North Face does it, Canada Goose, Montclair, they all do it. Whereas this one smooth body, it's very rare. And I love rare things. It's just the hippie in me that just wants to be different from everyone else. Another detail I want to talk about with regard to the front, I love the silver zipper. It's beautiful. It divides the jacket into 2. It's very pleasing to look at. Our brain oftentimes like they have to compute so much of what we see, so the blocking is very even, and the divide of the zipper, it just, the brain connect two and two together. It's very pleasing to look at. This is why we find certain people more attractive than others based on the symmetry. Rick has released this particular jacket with the smooth body, but with that smooth body, he used like a stiffer material. Maybe it's poplin, whereas the quilted nylon is just very soft looking. I don't know, I'm just not a fan, and I think the quilt blocking does look good on this particular model. And the antithesis of that example would be my Hickoryville jacket. On my Hickoryville, it's a block, but Rick and Michelle wore these sample ones where it's just one smooth body. And I think the smooth body looked better on that model than my Hickoryville. Okay, so the back, it's rather empty without the web strap. Super useful. And don't worry, I didn't forget about the pockets. We'll get to that. I love the detail so much. The web strap, it's very useful because you will go from place that is cold. It's a cold winter day in January, super cold, and then you walk into the grocery store. They have that heated thing where it blocks the cold air out, and you're instantly hot. And my body, it's very sensitive when I go from a place that is very cold to very warm super quickly. My bodies get itchy, so it's super great that this web strapping is there. I love wearing it. Just like, honestly, I can wear this jacket as an accessory just with the web strap on my shoulder. It looks great. On top of that, it's also a signature of Rick Owens now on most of his jackets. He will have the web strap. It's just one of his calling cards. Back to the back padding. Very symmetrical, 6 padding. Well, vertically it's symmetrical because it gradually gets smaller like a pyramid, but you really have to pay attention. At first glance, you probably think it's the same size. It looks a bit bland. The strap kind of helps, but also hurts. I think if they were to add the zipper detailing, it would have helped the jacket stand out for the back a little bit more. And it doesn't have to be a functional zipper either. It can just open up to nothing. Wait, just had an idea. Imagine there's like a hidden pouch, and then in there, that comes with a jacket, the Rick Owens balaclava. Dude, that would be amazing. Alright, back to my opinion on the back. It's rather bland, however, I don't see it, so it really doesn't matter. And I think I said it in another video, I've never been a fan of when designer put their print or logo or design on the back rather than the front. I feel as though when you do that, you're designing for people around the wearer, but if you put the design on the front, that's more for me, and I enjoy that better. So the back, although it's bland, it's fine, I don't mind it. I appreciate the straps a lot, it's very useful. I have used it plenty of time because my grocery store, those bitches, they're blasting the heat so high in the winter. Every time I walk in, if I have a hoodie on, instantly my skin just crawling. It's so itchy. One of my favorite details, the sleeve. They're extra long. 29 inches to be exact. For comparison, here's a Bodhi jacket. On the jacket you're seeing right now, that's about a 23 to 25 inches. So let's talk practical first, and then we'll talk aesthetic. They're very hard to eat with. I generally always take it off when I have to eat. I mean, look, there is a rib knitted cuff where you can cuff the sleeve up, but I don't think they look that good when you cuffed it up. And you know, when you're eating, just take it off. When you go to the bathroom, take it off. When you wash your hands, no, in the bathroom you can roll the sleeve up, yeah. But when you eat, just take the jacket off. It'll be easier. They are very expensive, and they are an amazing jacket. So you should, you know, put in a bit of extra care in them. The sleeve, they're broken out into 4 and let's say a 4th horizontal lines. I like it. It's good. It's a design that is tried and true. So, you know, it works. All right, rib knit cuff. The cuffs, they're a bit longer than normal. It runs a bit deeper. Here's a side-by-side next to one of my other Rick Owens down jackets. The wool, it attracts a lot of dirt and fluff pieces, but I love this detail so much. They keep my arms so warm. And the fact that these cuffs exist, you don't really have to put your hand into the pocket to keep it warm. I have this Rick Owens Tommy sweater from, I believe, Strobe. That thing is cashmere and it keeps me so warm. I love that sweater. I don't think I've shown it off on this channel yet. I'm still writing my script. That script is going to be super long because I'm trying to look into every little detail about it, especially with the print, superhuman, inhuman, subhuman, and all that. So I'll figure that out. But you know, maybe Rick Owens, if you're watching, anybody from the team, maybe try cashmere nuts. I think that would be the next level after wool. According to the Rick Owens website, this jacket has new wool, or you can say virgin wool, which is good. It's not recycled. On my Tommy sweater, that one is recycled. Look, there's nothing wrong. It feels exactly the same, but I just prefer new wool, you know. I'm a bit, this is gonna sound so wrong, but I want to cause as much impact to this earth as we can because I want the next species that rule the earth. I want them to have that conversation where, hey man, what happened to Earth from the year 0 to 2100? How were there so many deaths? What happened to the climate? How did those animals fuck it up so much? Why did those R-worded monkey nuke themselves to death in the year 2102? What happened? Let's teach that in our class and make sure we never repeat this mistake again. I want them to look at us the way we look at Neanderthals. Thick and puffy, I love it. I love the fact that it's a bit hard to cross my arm because of how thick and stiff the leather and downs are. With my regular nylon down jacket, super easy because nylon is really thin compared to leather. And every time I have to press the stud closure on the penis, it's a bit of a struggle. Hopefully the video is showing because it's so thick, it's so heavy, you gotta move so many material around to button these up. And I love the struggling of it. I love the fact that I do struggle with this because when I struggle with it, I know how thick it is. And if you watch enough of my video, I equate weight to value, which is not good, but it's fine. It's the way I think. I have a monkey brain. That we're all monkeys at the end of the day. Let's talk about the zipper. They are not that smooth. I don't know why. I think some assumption I can make is that they have to pull two very thick material together because leather is just naturally heavier, whereas nylon is very thin, so it's easy to pull together. Or I got a defective version because I believe this jacket to be a sample, which we will talk to later. But the color, it's dark forest green. I'm a bit indifferent towards the color. I wish it were fully black or fully white, so then it really emphasized the silver zipper better. But dark green is it's better than the brown. I don't know why they use brown on my geo basket, but I think black would have been the best, or white. At least it's not. I already said that. They're far superior to the YKK zipper. I've been wearing a lot of my Bodhi peach jacket, and when you switch on and off between that Bodhi jacket and my Rick Owens piece, you really sense how great the Rakagni zipper is. You really sense the weight, the size, because the YKK zipper, it's so much smaller and it's not as smooth. If you own as many Rick Owens product as me, you would know that on some of his jacket, they have very high armhole. This means that it's a bit uncomfortable than a regular low armpit. So let's put it up with my Klaus jacket and this jacket. You can see that it holds my arm up in a weird way. So let's bring it back to the A roll. So with the high armpit, it's a bit like this. With the low armpit, you can relax your arm a little bit better. I hope that demonstration helps and the earlier B-roll. Luckily, this jacket has low arm rise, which is incredibly comfortable. And also the boxy nature, it helps a lot, so it makes the armhole even better. I will talk about this more in the measurement segment, but the sleeve, one more thing about the sleeve. Super wide, which is very good when you need to put a sweater or a hoodie underneath. For comparison, look at this clip of this jacket and my jumpsuit. You can see that the jumpsuit, they do fit. Like you can put a hoodie or sweater underneath, but aesthetically it doesn't look that good, and it's not that comfortable either because the sleeves are so much smaller. In my last video, I said this could be a sample, and I'm gonna say it with my chest all out now. They are sample. I mean, okay, who's gonna tell me I'm wrong? Anyone? Anyone? Is it a sample? Do you agree with me that it's a sample? You do? See, that's great. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. So this jacket is from the Strobe collection, and let's put that up right here. And then on the Luxor collection, you see the pockets now. So I believe Rick and the team experimented on the Strobe on this jacket and say, what if we put pockets on the exterior? And then I guess they loved it. That's why it appears on the Luxor now, because For every other jackets from the Strobe collection, the Sisyphus anyway, they don't have pockets. So this is a sample. Okay, back to the pocket. I would like to formally apologize. Apologize. I would like to formally apologize to Rick Owens and the team when I said in my previous video, you know what your jacket is missing? Exterior pockets, because I now realize that the sleeves are so long and there's rib knit cuffs. So then when you clench your fist, you really don't need to put your hands in the pockets to warm it up. Okay, let's look at this for example. This Bodhi jacket. Do you see how you can see some of my fingers? Because the sleeve are perfectly tailored to my body. But on this Rick Owens jacket, the sleeve are extra long. So you can just keep your arm in there. I have worn this jacket about 20-30 times now. I never once felt cold enough and that my hands needed to be in some form of pocket to keep them warmer, because they're already warm in the sleeve themselves. However, I am not complaining about the pockets being there. I don't think it's a big distraction. I think my earlier point about if it were to have the zippers like on my Klaus Tech shoulder jacket, it would draw more attention, but since it's just a button closure, it doesn't draw much attention. From afar, you can barely see it. So it is useful, if you need to store some stuff, but my life anyway, I don't know about you, but with my life, I don't carry a lot. I carry my phone, my wallet, and my AirPods. And most of the time, I'm either driving or I have a bag with me. So I never really use my pockets. But if you are one of those persons that still use pocket and have no tote bag or side bag or whatever, this jacket would be great for you. So get the Luxury collection where there are pockets on the outside. Don't go for the Strobe collection. There's no pockets on there. As far as spaces go with the pockets, it's not that great. It fits one water bottle comfortably, but if you try to squeeze a second one in, it will take only about 50%. So you can see the second bottle a little bit. They're surprisingly small. I mean, most pockets on my Rick Owens jacket, they're incredibly big. You can fit 3-4 water bottles in there comfortably. So the fact that this is smaller, it's a bit weird, but okay. If I would have just put my hands in there, it doesn't feel as comfortable because they're so much smaller. Plus with the high placement of the pockets, it's a bit weird when your arm is like this because it's a crop jacket, remember that. So for comparison, just look at how relaxed my arm is when I wear this Bodhi jacket and the pocket is far lower. This is one of the examples of this Rick Owens jacket sacrificing practicality for the aesthetic. Once again, it should not be your main jacket. It should be your second, your third, or your fourth option. My main winter down jacket is my Supreme and North Face collab. I love that jacket. It keeps me so warm. I love the hood. On any down jacket, the seams are very important because if you own any down jacket, you would know what I'm talking about. Here and there, you will find down and feather coming out. And I thought since this is leather, it would do a better job at keeping the down and feather in. This jacket in particular, there's not a lot of down to begin with, which we'll talk about later in the material. But while we're on the topic of seam and stitches, I don't like this right here. It could have been done better. Color, I got the black one, obviously, but the other main color from that collection that is made of lambskin Nappa leather is the orange one. I personally think the orange one looks better, but the black is a lot more wearable. If I were to have the orange, I don't think I would wear it as much because black is super easy to wear. You put it on in and out without thinking. But with orange, you kind of have to worry about every other color clashing with it. Material. This is my favorite segment. This is the main reason as to why I got this jacket. The leather. It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm gonna let it run for 10 seconds. What I love about Rick Owens is he gives us so much information with regard to material, the origin, the tanning process, everything. He tried to give us as much information as he can. And so this jacket, Rick and the team already took it off the rickowens.eu website, but I found similar looking jacket that seemed to have the same material, and here's what Rick and the team has to say. This is lambskin Nappa leather. It wasn't stated as lambskin in the description, but I believe it to be Nappa leather.
Nappa leather, I am sure, as a buyer of the Mercedes-Benz cars, especially on the higher end ones, you come across that title. So, in short, Nappa leather, it's very strong. Nappa leather, it's very, very smooth on the touch. And Nappa leather is the highest grade of leather that is being used in the car interiors like Mercedes-Benz. And many of the other manufacturers are using the same. Again, the properties of the Nappa leather that is so wanted by the car makers and its clients, it's because it is very strong, it's very subtle, it's very, very smooth to the touch, and keeps its appearance over a very, very long period of time. Nappa leather, it's not sanded. Nappa leather, it's not buffed. By sanding or buffing the leather, you're weakening the leather. So you're not getting that strength that Nappa leather delivers on many of the car interiors. And the sanding or the buffing of the leather is done to make that part of the leather smoother. It is used in some of the car makers' interiors, but Nappa leather, as it is what is not, it's not sanded, it is not buffed to be good. Basically, just except the removal of the hair, what you have is the premium top product of the leather.
Nappa leather is just a term for the dyeing process of a full-grain unsplit leather. Most high-end company, whether it's a clothing industry or automotive or furniture, they use full grain because it's the best. And Nappa is a dyeing process that is known to be the best. So Nappa, what is Nappa? So Nappa is just, it takes its name from Napa, California. The process of making Nappa leather was created by a man named Emmanuel MAKASY in around 1875, and he was a German tanner who at the time was working with the Sawyer Tanning Company in Napa Valley. And it was discovered by him that treating hides with chromiums or aluminum sulfate could make the leather soft without sacrificing their strength. So upon the discovery of this process, the term Nappa leather was coined, and with it, MAKASY or Emmanuel found great riches, and he was later named partner at the Sawyer Tanning Company due to the great success of the Nappa leather process. After feeling the leather though, it's so much harder for me to go back to my regular nylon jacket because the leather, it feels so good. It smells so good. With leather, there's this particular smell to it, and with this specifically of the wax finish and the whatever process they did, it smells so good. Whereas a regular nylon, it doesn't smell like anything. Wax leather, I want to break this part down a bit further. So why do tanneries use wax leather or wax their leather? So a couple reasons. Waxing the leather make it more durable, easier to clean, and it's more resistant to water and stain. It is also good against cold weather because it creates like this barrier against moisture. This is why you see a lot of stores selling wax and why you see a lot of people use wax on their leather boots, because it's just to elongate their lifespan. The next part I want to break down is what is aniline. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but who cares?
Today, I want to talk about aniline leather. Some of you may have heard the term, but may not understand it completely. So aniline is used to refer a type of dye we use in finishing leather. It is the kind that has no coverage properties. It is only to balance the tone and accentuate the imperfections of the grain. So whenever you see aniline, when you're reading a description of a leather product or a label, it means you're getting a good leather to start with. Probably 5 to 10% of all leathers can be finished with aniline dyes because they are clean to start with. The 90% has to go through some form of corrections.
I want to deviate a little bit. It's still on the topic of leather, but I don't like that saying that I've heard so often. The saying of, this is leather, that is leather. But since this is cheaper, let's just get this one. I mean, they're both leather, right? I don't like that saying because, okay, what's a good example? Let's say the patty of a burger, it's all beef, right? But we don't say beef is beef and just get the cheap one. We have to consider the cut, the origin of the meat, the finishes, how they prepare it. It's also different. So yes, while the Zara leather jacket is also leather, you have to consider the origin of the leather, how they prepared it. Is it full grain? Is it calf? Is it lamb? Like, you have to consider everything. Is it from a cow's asshole? And by the way, I'm not fetishizing cow's asshole. Look up Cordovan leather. That's from a horse's ass. Vegetable tan. So there are two types of tanning process. One is vegetable, one is chrome.
Vegetable tanned leather is considered higher quality and will last longer than synthetically treated leather. It takes at least 28 times longer to make, which is part of the reason why vegetable tanned leather only makes up roughly 10% of all leather available today. It can also cost around 3 times more than the cheaper version. You can tell vegetable tanned leather apart from mineral tanned leather by its two defining qualities. First, it changes color in the light and develops a rich patina. Second, vegetable tanned leather will become more supple with age. Leather makers add the hides along with the tannins
che usiamo per l'acconciatura è il tannino, che è di origine vegetale.
to this large wooden rotating vessel known as a drum.
Now, when it comes to chrome tanning, the number one reason people use chromium salts is because it speeds up the tanning process, and the tanning itself can be done in less than a day.
Is the chrome tan leather, which is a more modern technology using a mineral called chromium salts to tan the leather. It does the same thing. It preserves the leather for good permanently.
Tan in the Veneto area of Italy, this leather is tumbled multiple times in a large drum in order to bring out the natural grain texture of the skin. The leather is then finished with aniline and air dried in order to achieve the natural and waxy hand feel. So I want to talk about the look of it first. So for this segment, I have a few leather to compare this to. First, we have the tabby with a thin bovine leather. And then we have the Guidi with a thick horse leather. And Guidi with a thick calf leather. Rick Owen with the calf. Rick Owen with a blend of stretchy leather. Okay, let's put this side by side. On the left side, it's lamb. On the right side, it's horse. On the horse, you can see a bit more marking. This could be due to the life that the horse lived. And also, the hair on the horse isn't as long as the wool on the skin of the lamb, so it doesn't get much scratches. The grain is also smaller on the lamb skin. The horse is not that small, and there's more vertical lines there, if you can see it. I think those long lines could be the veins. Horse leather is also thicker and more durable. Okay, so with regard to the touch, so my opinion, I know this is very tactile, it's gonna be hard for me to describe. The smell of the leather, I am so bad at describing smell, but please just go out there, go to your local mall, find a expensive brand, go to Burberry, go to Celine or something. Those stores, they mainly use lambskin for leather. Just go there and just smell it. It's amazing. Or if you live in a place that has Rick Owens, just go and smell the leather. It smells so good. Nylon or duvet, as Rick likes to call it. So what he has to say about this is, this nylon is a lightweight and airy parachute-like material is woven from GRS certified recycled nylon. We chose to make this product from certified recycled polyamide because it ensures a reduction in water consumption, emissions, and hazardous waste, lessening the dependence on non-renewable resources. I was a big fan of the nylon up until I felt the lamb leather jacket though. It's good, I understand why they use it for parachute, it's good. Personally, I haven't ripped it myself, but they don't feel that secure because I have seen nylon jacket have cuts and all the down. Okay, that may be my brain fallacy because I've seen it on other brand, not Rick Owens. So yeah, I think it's one of my brain fallacy because I stated earlier, not every beef patty is the same. So I haven't seen a Rick Owens rip yet. So once again, my apology. Okay, my opinions on the nylon. Personally, if I had it my way, this jacket would have nylon at all. This jacket would have lamb leather interior, but I understand why it's a tried and true material for down jackets. That's why you see Canada Goose, Montclair, North Face, they all use nylon for the interior and most of the time exterior as well. The down. Prototypical 90-10 split. I find this to be ideal over 80-20. Canada Goose adheres to this rule. Montclair as well, so does North Face. They all use 90-10. And I stated earlier that this jacket does not have that much down. So if a regular jacket were to have 600 downs, on this jacket it would have 300, 400, 450 maybe. Because I guess you can compensate a little bit with the lambskin. It insulates the body better. So I think Rick and the team was worrying about the warmth to weight ratio, but personally I would have loved this thing to drown me. I want it to be as heavy as possible. I want to talk about the shape one more time because I might have sounded a bit flippant with regard to the shape. The shape, it's incredible. When I first got this piece, I constantly wore it around the house. I was so happy. I was so amazed by the penis, by the crop body, by the long sleeve. But since I have gotten crazier pieces, I'm not as high on this as I normally was, or not as enthusiastic as I should be. And truly, you should try it too. And I genuinely mean it. Write it down or say it out loud because you might not think You might think you don't have a lot of great things in your life, but when you put that pen down to the paper, or when you truly say it out loud and count it out, you will realize how grateful you should be and how much less cynical you should be. Because don't let social media fool you. Not everybody is as happy as they seem to be on Instagram. Don't let social media makes you feel jealous, and it just be grateful to your life. Be grateful for whatever it is you have, because what you have is what you were dreaming about a couple of years back or when you were younger. So just try to appreciate everything you have. And the best example, the best exercise for that, for me anyway, is to genuinely write it down and say it out loud to myself, so then I can really hear it revert back to me. Okay, wait, so for reference, this Supreme North Face jacket is 1,336 gram or 3 pounds, and this jacket, the Sisyphus jacket, is 1,999 gram or 4.5 pounds. I am a bit disappointed in the weight. I want it to be heavier. I want it to be at least 10 pounds because I really want this thing to drown me, but I understand the warmth to weight ratio, but I don't care about that ratio. I don't give a shit on this jacket. Again, this is not my main winter jacket. This is my designer fashionable jacket. So I want it to be as heavy as possible. I really want you, because you sacrifice so much practicality already. Why care about the warmth to weight ratio now? Okay, so you saw the measurement, so let's talk about sizing. So this jacket is a size 40H or a size medium. I am 174 pounds. I'm 5'10". I normally wear a large or extra large in outerwear because I like my things to be a bit oversized, and I also understand that sometimes I will need to put a sweater or hoodie underneath, so I want it to be comfortable when I add layers underneath. But I think I made another video with regard to Rick Owens sizing, and what I said in that video was it's pretty sizeless, because you saw the measurement earlier. The chest and the shoulder is so boxy, and if that's not enough, let me compare it to my Bodhi jacket. With Rick Owens' down jacket, I was never worried, but if I were to get a Bodhi jacket at the size medium to large, I would be a bit more worried, because it's a lot more difficult to shop for Bodhi jacket than to shop for Rick Owens' down jacket. Okay, price. So this jacket retail for roughly $4,400, I think. Let's say $4,000. So let's say $4,000. I think roughly speaking, this jacket, to make this jacket, I think it was probably like $900, and they probably wholesale it for $1,500, $1,600. I'm just guessing on this number. I would love to learn these numbers. It's something I'm interested in because I am a marketing major, and prices, the marketing department take care of that. So one day when I'm big enough and these brands notice me, I would love to go in there and just talk to that marketing team, just like, how did you get to this pricing? What's the markup? What's the expense? What's the profit you're looking for? How much is it to break even? I would love to know all of that. But anyway, it's a leather jacket. Yes, it's a lambskin Nappa full grain leather jacket, so it is very pricey. Obviously, it's not worth the $4,400, but if money isn't a problem, so let's say, for example, money isn't a problem, you get the choice of nylon or leather. I would recommend getting the leather. But if money is a problem, just get the nylon. It is not worth the extra $2,000 to get the lambskin, because it doesn't keep you warmer twice as much as the nylon. And with this jacket, you're kind of buying it more for the shape rather than for the material. If you get the lambskin, you get both. But some of us are not fortunate enough to have $4,000 and to see the lambskin leather and the nylon as option. So if you are looking for this jacket and money is an issue, just get the regular nylon. It's on the secondary market. The price has gone down a lot on Grail. I'm sure you can find it for $1,000, $1,000.2. It's a lot easier now because Rick has flooded the market. So the value of this jacket, of these jackets, it has decreased significantly from when it was first released in 2018. Water test. I love doing the water test on this so much. I wasn't surprised at all. I know leather was going to be very, very good. And then there's also wax and aniline finishes, so water does not seep through at all. It stays there until you wipe it away. And once you do wipe it away, once you do wipe it away, the wet spot, it stays like 10-17 seconds, and then it feels as though water never touched it. But the problem with the leather having this glossy finish, it looks wet all the time, and it feels a bit wet already, if that makes sense. The nylon portion, it did even better with the water. It just, once you pour water in it, it stays there, it doesn't seep through, and then you wipe it, doesn't even take like 5 seconds. It feels as though water never touched it. This jacket is so good against water. I am not worried about wearing this jacket in the snow or in the rain. I know the water is just going to repel off the jacket. As far as wearing it every day, you will probably most likely catch me wearing this in an all black outfit, as I'm sure you've seen the b-roll throughout this video. Most of the time it will be my flare trouser or one of my wide-legged trousers, my Greedy boots, my Kiss boots, or just Crocs, you know. I haven't worn sneakers in a while, and I have bought a couple sneakers lately that I love, the Balenciaga Triple S and the Geo Basket, but with this jacket, they look really good with an all black outfit. This jacket is one of those items that draws a lot of attention to itself, so you really should just compliment it rather than try to take some of the shine away from it, pun intended. Aesthetically though, recently I've been acquiring a lot of leather goods from Rick Owens, as I'm sure you've seen by the video with the leather Rick Owens Bauhaus jumpsuit. It looks great together with this jacket. Leather, I love researching leather, and I love wearing leather. It's become a bit harder for me to buy just regular nylon or regular cotton now. And you know, most of the time Rick Owens, when he releases a product, he will release them in multiple materials. So if he released it in nylon, you will find them in leather as well. So if I had it my way, I would get the leather version all the time. I love the choice of leather. I love the information that Rick gives us, so it makes me feel a bit closer to the leather. It's so good. And leather, I just love wearing leather. It makes me feel so special, and I think it goes back to my childhood where I've seen leather on celebrities and we never could afford leather or didn't even know about leather, but it's something that I saw a lot on celebrity when I was young, so I always dreamt about wearing leather. So the fact that I have them now, it's extra special to me. Maybe it's not that special to you, maybe you're vegan, but I love wearing leather. It's like constantly fulfilling the dream of younger MAKASY every time I wear leather. I never thought I would reach a point in my life where Rick Owens leather is within my budget, but here we are. So if you are in that situation where you're constantly dreaming about owning these amazing pieces, just please wait on it. You will get a good job, you will earn a lot of money, you will be where I am now, which is a great spot to be. But I know how you feel when you're just constantly dreaming about what Rick Owens leather pieces feels like on your skin. So please give it time. You will get there, I promise. But in the meantime, live vicariously through me. Hopefully I'm doing a good job at explaining everything. If I do miss something, let me know. If I missed a point where you wanted me to talk about, please let me know. But I doubt it, because once again, you've seen the length of this video. I cover everything. Dude, I talk about the color underneath the zipper. I didn't miss anything. I did try wearing it with a colorful trouser, as you can see by the b-roll, the pannier trouser, but this jacket looks so good in an all black outfit. I didn't try to wear these with jeans either, because I really grown to hate jeans lately. I think it's a bit of a try hard, whereas an all black trouser, it looks a bit more casual, it looks a bit more carefree, and that's the vibe I'm going for. When I wear jeans, I feel like, why am I trying so hard? What's the point of all this? I have worn this jacket plenty of time now to safely say that this lambskin jacket, is warmer than the nylon jacket. However, I'm not going to go too into detail. I will save that for the next comparison video, and we'll go into depth. But in short, this lambskin is warmer than a regular nylon. Anyway, back to the outfit thing. Most of the time, you're going to catch me with my high-rise trouser, because I like the trouser to come meet the crop jacket. If you expose the midriff, it doesn't look that good. I mean, if you're a female, maybe they look better, but I don't like when male wear crop top and then you can see their midriff. Even if you have abs, it doesn't look good to me. One of my favorite looks with this jacket is with my creech trouser. The creech trouser, it gives off this carefree vibe, and then it comes to meet the jacket perfectly. I'm still a bit mad about the fact that I got the creech trouser in the wrong material. I wanted the ripstop version. This one is just cotton jersey. This jacket also looks great with my banana trouser. Honestly though, they look great with any high-rise trouser. They don't look that good with skinny jeans, but that is not an objective opinion. You know, if your wardrobe consists of mainly skinny jeans, just do what you want to do. My opinion shouldn't matter to you. Don't let my opinion or anybody else's opinion influence you too much. Okay, actually, I take that back. Let my opinion influence you a little bit, because I need some of that influence, so when brand were to want to send me stuff, they will know that I have some sort of influence, you know, so they would want to work with me. So I have to let them know I have some form of influence over my audience. So don't worry about others YouTubers' opinion, just worry about mine and worry about yours. I can't wait though. I can't wait till one day when Margiela, when Rick Owens, when these designers, these retailers send me free stuff. It's a day that I'm really, really looking forward to. That is the day where I feel like I've made it. I did it. Farfetch has sponsored my video. Farfetch has sent me some stuff to review. That will be the day that I believe I have made it on YouTube. I look forward to that. However, if it doesn't happen, I still enjoy making this content. It has kept me busy. It's a great hobby. I'm learning how to edit better. So a lot of transferable skills. By the way, you know, when I'm successful, when I get a lot of these products sent to me as gifts, I will do like a monthly giveaway. So if you are a size 43 in shoes, if you're a size 34 in trousers, size 50 in jacket, just be on the lookout. You're gonna get a lot of free stuff from me. I enjoy sharing. I love sharing stuff. So we'll get there one day. With your help, with my continuous effort in these endeavors, we will get there one day, I promise. I think this video is long enough now. Let's do my intro. I did skip a few slides. I think I skipped like 7 or 8 just to keep this video as short as possible, even though I know it's still long. But it's a great jacket. I will talk about it more in my comparison. And I don't think I'm keeping it, although I love the lambskin leather. Shape-wise, it's not the greatest anymore. It's not as crazy as my other down jacket. It would never win over my Babel mountain jacket, and it's so similar. So if I were to feel like I want to wear a jacket with a penis one day, I would just pick the Babel mountain jacket over this Sisyphus jacket. So I am putting it up for sale. If I do sell it, great. If I don't, I still get a great jacket to wear. I enjoy wearing it a lot in the past few weeks. So, you know, it's a win-win to me. I get to make some video out of it. I get to sell it, make some quick money. So, you know, it's a win-win for all of us. You also get a video out of this. You can, you know, a video to watch while you eat. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. My name is MAKASY. Thank you very much for spending all this time with me. I know it's long, my apology, but a long video, as long as it's a good video, it's fine. The length is fine. It's a good video. Hopefully you agree with me. I really enjoy making this video. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next week.